Just because you're a lesbian doesn't make you any less of a being. Welcome to the LGBT Marathon.
I finally knew what that one was. Every time Max does an intro, I have no idea what it is from.
Well, we all know, so there's no point.
I don't.
Even.
Of course you do. You know
what it is.
You do know what it's from.
You know.
You just can't remember.
Yeah, I just can't remember.
Well, it's on the TV screen right there for you.
Okay.
Does that ring any bells?
No.
The blue-haired lady says it.
Marge says it when Selma or Patty gets married to a woman. And it turns out that it was a man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, just because you're a lesbian, it doesn't make you any less of a being.
And it's like iconic quote.
Yeah. The episode came out when it got shit though, so don't care.
That episode was actually alright.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not
just
classic Simpsons.
Just taking punches. He's just out here trying to destroy everything that we work hard to create.
Punching down on the LGBT.
Punching down on those ones.
I fucked up.
They've been through enough, man. How are we this week?
Vibing.
Yep, vibing.
I feel so ill. I feel so terrible. But if I sound bad, just let me off you.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say if I sound bad, it's because I am bad.
Yeah, that's that too. Yeah.
I think we're all feeling kind of run down.
A little
feeling
bit.
run down. That's why this is the last episode you're going to hear us from. It's all over.
Ever again.
We said it from the beginning. 117 was the one to end it all. This is
We like specific episode numbers.
destroying ourselves for our little podcast here. We put way too much effort into.
That is fact, to be fair.
Yeah, that's that.
Chris is just nodding, he's not saying anything.
So we went to like a goth night the other night, and I want to get you guys' opinions on so like we went there and they have toilets there,
I
as
didn't
you
go.
should. But what's your opinion on this? So there was ladies' toilets, as is standard, and then there was the gender neutral toilets. All well and good.
Okay.
Fine. Except that the gender neutral toilets was clearly the gents' toilets. It's just that it had like a sign sellotaped over gents. And when you went in there was still urinals.
Mm-hmm.
So I had possibly the most anxious piss of my life. Just looking over my shoulders as I'm not saying it's like the be all end all, but yeah, bunch of women coming in. I'm like, I don't really want to be stood here with my cock out.
If it helps,
piss in a urinal.
If it helps, I think the feeling's probably quite mutual because my I was saying I was trying to say, but the club was so loud. The other Saturday, I went to go see my friend do her play at the bridge or whatever, and they also only have gender neutral toilets, but the urinals are like right at the front and the toilets are at the back.
Yeah, it's kind of like it here.
So basically, when you walk in, you don't know.
Them.
Yeah, you don't know whether you're going to expose someone like out the door to their penis, or whether you're going to walk in and just watch someone take a piss like outright. And I think the feeling's mutual because I don't think anyone really wants to see it, but also surely there should be some sort of like cubicle as well for like, you know, the urinal. Like, you know, you guys deserve to have some privacy on this side of.
Well, surely in a gender neutral
place,
bathroom, toilets, it should just be cubicles.
You'd think, yeah.
Not like urinals.
Is it quicker though? Like you could get a bit more massive volume of people. I don't know, just quicker in it. I guess
toilets are necessary, but I mean, basically urinals were made out of convenience, but they're not completely necessary.
No.
I mean, I find the concept really, really bizarre that you can just. I mean, I don't know because I've
whip it out.
Yeah, I've never had a penis. I've never had to like stand next to someone and take a piss next to them. But it must be a kind of weird because I assume you guys never stand next to each other, right? Is the rule if you're on one side, you have to be on the other, right?
All you out there, feel like standing next to somebody who has their cock out and pissing into your urinal. If there were a bunch more urinals free, don't do that.
No.
It just seems like a weird well, the place that I went to only had 3 on the wall anyway, so it was almost inevitable that at some point someone was going to come stand next to you. But I just find it like a really strange concept. Yeah, just add if you could. Like I didn't go to that toilet either, so I didn't see it. But if there was room to add more toilets in, you should just get rid of the urinals and put toilets in.
When I went in there the first time, there was 2 people using the same urinal. That was an experience.
Wait, what?
It was just like this guy was like clearly started going first, and his mate was just like move up, and he like pushed his way in and started using the same one. And his mate was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he was like, "I'm going for a piss."
Yeah. Nice cock, man.
Oh, they were crossing streams. Interesting.
I mean, one of them was very reluctant to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
it was quite funny, to be fair.
Well, it must have been.
I felt bad for that guy who clearly didn't want it to happen.
I don't even know what to say to that. That's.
I guess the main question is: has wokeness gone too far?
When you're crossing streams, I would say it has.
Like gender neutral bathrooms with just urinals in them.
Maybe see this is part that I don't quite understand, because then wouldn't it have been easier to make the ladies' bathroom gender neutral, because that actually doesn't have urinals in it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really understand the logic.
Because
it would be too easy.
Yeah,
that's why.
No, and I also feel like stereotypically speaking, I think it would cause less issue to have a gender neutral bathroom and then a male bathroom.
One of the men get to have it all, huh?
I'm just talking stereotypically that I guess a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable sharing a bathroom in that kind of way, especially if you've got urinals. Yeah. I mean, I didn't give a fuck either way, but it is a bit weird when you walk in and you feel kind of bad because the door, the one that I went into, like the door is in people view. So then like you're just like opening the door and you're like, oh shit, sorry, Barry. Everyone in the hallway can now see your dick. I don't know. It makes you feel bad.
Yeah, needless to say, I did not go back in there.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand that unless you walk in and just use a cubicle, or did you use a cubicle the whole time? I don't know. I didn't.
Yeah,
actually.
I did. But that was because when I went in there was 2 people pissing into the same urinal. Didn't really want to be there. I was invited to join though.
You got invited to join?
Yeah, he was like, "Do you want to join in?" I was like, "I'm all right, mate."
The more the merrier.
That's what he said. He actually said, "The more the merrier."
What, 3 people pissing in one?
So I went into the cubicle and he was like, "Sorry, mate, I'm really drunk."
Well, you'd have to be.
Yeah, that's why you don't say, "Yeah, I'll totally cross streams with you guys."
I'm sure they were nice blokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if they invite you to cross streams, they're probably quite...
That's only an invitation you get from stand-up fellas.
That is so true. They don't care. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Wait, why is this a conversation?
Gender neutralise your toilets, public toilets, all you want. Just don't put urinals in them, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, add more cubicles.
Just get rid of urinals.
I don't know why urinals exist. I think it's a weird concept.
I don't know. Kind of want to be in and out. You know?
You
come out.
It's just quicker, is it?
Yeah, it's just quicker. Quicker, and I don't have to sit on some scummy old toilet seat.
Yeah, but you don't have to
sit down.
You don't have to sit on it, right?
Look, man.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I thought you guys didn't actually. I thought you guys only used the cubicles for shitting. I didn't think you guys actually pissed by sitting on the seat.
No, I don't.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud now.
This is an entirely different conversation that we're going to have. So, what?
I thought the cubicles were just for taking
if you just
shit
need
in.
a piss and you go into a cubicle where you just stand up.
Stand against the door, yeah.
Every time you just stand up.
Yeah.
In your own house.
Yeah.
Do you never just go, I kind of need a piss, but I also kind of want to sit down?
No, not normally.
Is your toxic masculinity so ingrained in you that you have to stand up every time you need a piss? Don't you ever just fancy, I'm kind of tired for that bit? What if you get up at night and it's, the night time and it's dark and you go into the toilet and you're like, damn, I really need a waz.
Yeah, when
so
it's
you
dark
go in
at
there
night.
and what do? You just stand up and take a piss.
Yeah.
You actually stand up at night and take a piss.
I turn the light on. I don't do it in pitch black.
No, I piss in the dark. if it's night time because I want to pretend that I'm still asleep.
Yeah. You pretend like you're just sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I wake up at fucking 5 a.m? It's pitch black outside. I go, oh yeah, turn that light on. Do your eyes work correct? I mean, you've got glasses on, but do they not like register when light is turned on? You're like, fuck.
No, honestly, I've never ever thought about this in my life, but now I'm actually amazed that you would actually go out at night and like actually just put the effort into taking a piss.
Is it the in-betweeners where Neil says he sometimes sits down to piss as a treat?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So
and you know what? He's right.
I've walked in on Chris like pissing quite a few times, and I've never seen him sitting down. I don't know. I feel like now that we've mentioned it, I feel like it would be weird to see you sitting down now. But only for reasons unknown, like, you know.
Yeah, man, I mean, if I'm at work, I'm sat down, like, because it takes more time to do that. I'm a boss and listen to this. But yeah.
Sorry, man. It takes me so long to piss because I'm actually sitting down when I piss. Does it actually take longer, or is it just because you sit down? You know, you start getting your phone out, you start doing them. Yes, it takes
longer. Like, what do you... There's more motion and movement involved.
I don't know, man.
Having to like pull your trousers and pantaloons down and then turn around, sit down, have a piss, get up, do that same thing in reverse.
Actually, that is a question though. If you go for a piss at night, I don't know why this is fucking happening. Why am I even bringing this up? But like, if you go for a piss at night, surely you would have to pull down your trousers anyway because they don't have like the...
What?
The pocket bit.
What pocket bit?
She's talking about if you're wearing pajamas, I think.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
But like,
don't pull them down the whole way.
What do you mean when you say this?
I think she's expecting we have to pull our trousers down all the way, even if we're standing up.
Well, not the whole way.
You know what? I did that in school. It was fucking disgusting. If you were one of those motherfuckers who clearly there was something wrong with you. Like, if you had to like go into like a public urinal at school, these people, they did this and they just like dropped their entire trousers, their underwear, just straight shirt cocking it into the urinal.
I have been next to Connor in urinals before, and he's done that. He's come in, stood right next to you in the next urinal and pulled his trousers down all the way.
Yeah, he does it because he wants to provoke a reaction.
Yeah,
these people did it for realsies.
He does it because he likes to show his butt. That's why he does it.
Anyway, fuck me. What was I talking about? We were talking about something.
Sitting down to piss.
Yeah.
And then Darcy was talking about pulling your pajama trousers down. That's what it is,
yeah. So like, okay, what do you mean when you say, what about the pocket?
Not the zipper, sorry. Like
the zipper?
Because pajamas don't normally have them, right?
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, I don't know the mechanics, man. I don't know how anyone's pissing.
I mean, it was going to come up eventually on this podcast. It was only a matter of time. Pajama pants, all right? Let's say they have an elasticated waist, all right? You just stretches. Pull it down a bit, done. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, you have, actually.
Okay, good.
I feel like this podcast has taken a turn for the worst. This is why we have to take a break now.
Any other situation is exactly the same. I was of the mind that you thought that, you know, like some boxer shorts have like a little hole in them. That you thought like men just like, or like people with cocks just pulled their cocks through that little hole and pissed.
No.
That would be fucked up.
Oh, no, really, but now that I'm thinking about that, I'm like, why does that then exist? Why does that happen?
I don't know. To this day, I don't know. Because some don't have them.
Yeah.
And you know what? It makes no difference to me whatsoever.
No.
So that's that. I hope we all learned a little something. And also, you know, if you're listening to this and you got this far, you know what's out now is mine and Chris's new song from Midwinter Seas, our band.
Oh yeah,
Rabbit in a Jazz Room. Go and hit that up on the wherever you stream music.
Spotify's, hopefully.
Yeah, we all had a hand in making all that. Darcy did the artwork.
That's true.
And me and Chris did the little ditty. That is the sound.
Yes, they made noises.
I've also got a song coming out, but I've not announced it yet, so.
Well, you have just now, kind of.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That was
there you go.
Almost completely pointless in you saying that.
It's a little teaser for the announcement.
Yeah, just keep on clicking refresh on Chris Holland's Spotify page.
Yeah, this is a podcast
it'll come out
exclusive.
Eventually it'll come out. You got a release date for that?
Yeah, 31st.
31st of...
Yeah. A month.
Yeah.
Chris,
Okay.
why are you being
End of
so
the month.
cryptic, my man?
Whatever month we're in now, end of that one.
He's like, I don't want people to listen to this, so I'm going to tell
31st.
everyone that it's the 31st of Janobo 2049.
Speaking of nobos, we got some LGBTQIA plus movies to talk about, and that was the what the wheel has bestowed upon us, that we would all choose an LGBT movie, and those were Weekend from 2000 and 2011, Fantastic Woman from the year that came out, and Supernova.
Yeah,
Chris,
pretty much just G&T, none of the other ones.
pretty much just gin and tonic and none of the other ones. So take it away, G. Take it away, my G.
So yeah, my pick was Weekend, directed by Andrew Hay. The movie is about two guys, Russell and Glenn, who meet at a gay club, and it's kind of just all about them getting to know each other, talking about their sexual experiences, and kind of growing this relationship that has an expiry date of the end of the weekend when one of them's moving away.
Yeah, we've all been there.
I'd just like to first say that when Chris first told me about this movie, I'm pretty sure he was adamant this movie was set in London, but they go to the train station and it says they're in Nottingham. So I don't know what happened there.
I saw this once like 2 years ago. I don't know the locations.
It's in London, it's so great. And
it's
I'm like,
in a city in
this
England.
is Nottingham.
It could literally be anywhere.
Yeah, no, that is true.
It looks like every other fucking place.
No, I believed him until I saw it
British.
at the last bit.
It's definitely in
It's
England.
so British. It hurts. It's like, I said it was like so British that it was almost like accurately scary. It was, I don't know, it was like almost too
It's
real.
like they filmed it in Britain or something. It's so
I know, I meant
accurate.
it felt like they could have
saw
just
those
like
council
filmed people.
estates and I was like, damn, I've seen council estates.
One of them eats a pot noodle at one point. Quintessential British meal.
No.
Actually, no,
it's not.
that is where I said this is a quintessentially British film. Was when I saw that man eat that pot noodle, I said, yep, this is a British movie. That was legit when I said
That's
it.
what the B in LGBT stands for.
British pot noodle.
Yeah.
British pot noodle.
British pot noodle.
I don't even know where pot noodles we've from.
Not said that in a more British manner. Yeah.
Sorry. Actually, I'm not going to apologise for that.
Yeah. It's fine. Chris pulled some bullshit on me, though. Like, I watched the movie, I was wide awake, completely lucid, and...
Were you though?
Pretty much. Basically, I had to, like, take a walk to yours so that Chris could unfuck himself. He only gave me one movie to watch instead of two. So that walk sobered me up pretty well, and I had been drinking a little bit with my father and brother, as we also want to do every so often, but I definitely don't do it a lot. Just in case you were wondering, I just feel like every time I fucking like talk about some movie, I'm like, yeah, and also I was not sober.
Yeah, you just happened to do it twice in the last.
I did wonder why he made that face, and I was like,
slim window. So if you're wondering, I am not an alcoholic. I just happened to have drunk a little bit that day, and then yeah. So when I said, you know what, that movie, it's not really for me, Chris really, really didn't like that.
Okay, so I kind of dobbed you in here a little bit, Chris, because when you were having a piss a minute ago, I said to Max that your theory was that, oh, he's just drunk, he would have liked it if he was sober, and then Max went, what did he say? And I was like, oh no. So I'm
so me and Darcy were having this conversation while Chris was in his little having a stand-up wee, and yeah, I don't know, it was fine.
What I was saying was that I feel like this isn't a movie you can watch while drunk, and the last time I saw you were fairly drunk, so I was like, oh, maybe he would have had a different experience if he watched it while sober, but from the sounds of things, you weren't really that drunk at all, so you probably wouldn't have had a different experience.
If I was more sober than I was, just by default, yes, I would have had a different experience because I would have been completely sober. The fact of the matter is, I didn't like this movie Well, I'd say, like, it's fine. It's a fine movie.
You
I
had
thought.
no strong
it was like,
opinions
no, I have
of
no
this
real
movie.
strong opinions on it. It's just that I don't think having like a few drinks really affected the experience all that much, or like what I was able to take from it. I just thought it was like, who fucking cares what's going on here? I mean, it was like if I had sex on a Friday afternoon and didn't shut up about it all weekend. Like like we've all fucking been there. Oh, you know what? I fell in love with this one guy, and he was he went away like 2 days later. It's like, yeah, fucking.
That's like
summer romances, fucking
that's
bullshit.
like one night stands anyway, isn't it?
One night stands and all that. It's like the same, but it's like I had to watch a movie dedicated to something I've experienced on the offhand like 1 or 2 times.
I really wish that we had all watched this one together, but the only reason being is because there was 2 different experiences sitting in front of me right now. Like Chris, of course, being the emotional man that he is. I'm just sitting there chilling and he's just sobbing. And I'm like, what are you crying at, mate? And he's like, it's sad. And I'm like,
is it
though? I mean, I was like, it is sad, but it was like, they don't know each other that well, really, do they? Like, he said he didn't even know this guy's last name. And I thought, oh, this isn't really the makings of like the best romance. And like, this isn't Romeo and Juliet, is it? And Chris is just like sobbing. And I was like, okay, here we go. So I think this would have been quite fun if all 3 of us had been in the same room. It would have been me and Max looking at each other, doing the same thing that we normally do when we were watching the film and going, oh boy.
I don't know, like just...
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, no, it was good.
Fun.
I liked it a lot, actually.
And the acting was good, and it was like, it's all there. It's just not new or interesting, I don't think. It's just what it is. And I didn't really care about, oh no, he's never going to see him again. I knew him for like a day.
I've got to admit, that does take it out, doesn't it?
Milk that have been longer.
No,
it matter?
I think that is pretty accurate, to be honest. The thing is, I actually really, really liked the movie. I thought it was really good. But there is that sort of like, I don't know if it's because Chris had already told me what was going to happen, but I thought, I'm not really attached to them that much because I know that it's going to be over. Does that make sense?
They kind of like tell you exactly what's going to happen at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I like, how can I can't get invested in that, if that makes sense. Like, I can't be like, oh man, this is going to be so heartbreaking when they've literally known each other like 48 hours or something. I don't know. I really like the characters, and I really like the story that it was trying to go for and stuff. But yeah, I just couldn't like emotionally invest myself into something that I already know is not.
It depends how they do it. It depends at what angle they go at it. Because this is only a weekend long. That's why it's called Weekend. But I felt less attached than I would with a movie like Before Sunrise, which takes place over a day, maybe even less. I got a lot more from the relationship that was portrayed in that than I got out of the relationship that was portrayed in this. Probably just based on personal preference, and I think that's just mostly what it comes down to, because I don't think it's really a poorly made movie at all. I think it's like fine. I think it's well made. All the acting's going off,
Going off.
The gay sex, and that's what you want.
To be fair, that is what you want. It
doesn't like hit for me. It's like, okay. And then he left.
Yeah,
because he was going to leave.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that view, to be honest, because it is pretty much just a string of things that happen. I do like the good hangout movie, I guess, but no, I see where you're coming from. No, like sometimes it just don't. I think
like sometimes they weren't even like talking about things that like I thought they were talking about things that they thought were really interesting and deep, and like really having like they thought they were having more philosophical conversations than they actually were, but it actually wasn't. Because a lot of it just boiled down to it's like, yeah, being gay is hard, isn't it? Yeah, it is hard, right? And they have that same sort of they have the different variations of the same conversation throughout this movie, and I don't know if it really diverts all too much from what they're saying. Like it's the same sort of thing it boils down to at the end.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I don't really know, because I mean, because oh my god, I'm like, what do I even say? I mean, to a degree, yeah, but also I think there was probably quite a lot more to say about. I don't know. There's like quite a lot of weird commentary here about like I guess being British and being yourself and being gay, obviously. I don't know. I mean, there was only one real conversation that kind of stood out to me anyway, and that was when he was like, "Oh, I don't know my parents," and he's like, "Let me pretend to be your dad." And I actually thought that bit was actually really, really sweet.
Yeah.
Probably the sweetest bit in the whole thing. Like Chris probably would say it was the bit right at the train station. Probably. I don't know. That was the only time you cried, so I'd assume that was the bit that got you the best. But I don't know. I thought that bit seemed like the most kind of like
that was quite nice,
heartfelt and genuine.
Yeah,
like because obviously they don't know each other, but this Glenn guy's obviously like he's a bit more, I guess, out and experienced within him. You know, what I mean, he's more confident within himself. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think he wants to give Russell like a piece of this, like you have your own story, you should be able to tell it or whatever, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think part of the reason why I picked it was because I feel like this is a movie that is pretty much all about being gay.
It really is,
and I can understand why you would maybe look at it and say it was a bit like almost one note.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's kind of like that's what I like about it, is that it does kind of focus on that experience and shows these two people who kind of experience it in completely different ways, where Glenn is, like Darcy said, much more confident and open about his sexual relationships and about being gay. Like he's making like an art piece where he's like interviews and like talks to people he sleeps with, and he wants to like just get those conversations out in the world. Whereas Russell's the complete opposite. He's quite sheltered. He's quite within himself. He doesn't discuss his like sexual partners or like having sex with anyone. He kind of keeps it to himself, kind of keeps it secret. And I kind of like seeing like that, just a contrast in the two characters.
To be fair, I guess that also doesn't just stop at like gay relationships, does it? Because you do get people who are quite comfortable talking about their like sexual experiences and stuff.
Yeah.
But you also get people who are like, it's almost like taboo, almost like they don't want to talk about it, or maybe it's like a personal thing, you know, like it depends on what it means to someone else. And I think that's quite interesting as well, because he's talking about like, I don't know, taping all these like recordings of people talking about sex and stuff. And some people just aren't really into that, you know. And I felt like that was quite interesting as well, because it was like, yeah, why do we have such like this like polarizing view on like, I mean, obviously like most of the time it is pretty grotesque, like in that movie where they're like, oh, I took Becky home from the club and I had 6 fingers in her, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty gross, like that's pretty minging. But like,
what movie?
In this one,
it happened in this one. And he was
Russell's work colleague talking about it on their lunch break.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was talking about like basically fisting her and stuff. And to be fair, that is pretty grotesque. But like, I don't really see the problem in people talking about like, because I was gonna say everyone has sex, but that's not completely true. So like, but it's like a thing that people do. So I don't know why it's such a taboo thing. I know. I realise I'm going a little bit off the gay topic a little bit.
Glenn says that gay people never talk about it in public unless it's got a cheap innuendo.
I don't know what that meant, if I'm totally honest.
It's like how you get a lot of camp people who like make like innuendo jokes.
I like the way every time he says innuendo jokes, he goes boing yoing yoing yoing, because he's got the I don't know what you're flicking over there, but it's really funny.
Like you think about like gay characters you see in like TV shows or like soap operas and stuff, where every time they like even like remotely like there's like a possible innuendo or something slightly sexual sounding, they'll like try and make a joke out of it. Whereas they never actually like talk honestly and openly about what their experience is actually like.
Oh, right. Like, it's more of a joke than it is an act of something else.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with what they were saying there. I did like that scene. Yeah. It was, because it is also like the taboo is definitely more British, I think, and we're very more sheltered and not really supposed to talk about sex, and definitely not gay sex. You can't talk about just like straight heterosexual sex in Britain. If that's a taboo in and of itself.
Yeah, the
imagine
line.
the repercussions of, you know, talking about gay sex so openly, and as openly as some people do talk about heterosexual relationships, because it's all over everything, obviously.
Yeah, which is kind of what he was saying, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was talking more about like how it's just normal.
Yeah.
It's normal to like watch anything. Straight relationships in there all the time. You don't even like need to. It's just expected.
Yeah, because
the moment you put like a gay relationship in something, it has to like mean something. It has to be there for a reason.
Deal.
Yeah.
That's like why I didn't pick something like Brokeback Mountain or something, because I didn't want to pick something where it is so overt in that way.
I do think it's kind of ridiculous because like I guess we're gonna sort of tie this into the fact that you can't put can I say marginalised? All right, we'll just go with marginalised. Like group of people or person in like anything anymore without like someone saying something like, "Oh wow, the woke brigade," but I can't even speak. The woke brigade are here, and I'm like, but people have always existed, right? So like, why does it matter if they're in something or not? But like, it does seem to happen more, like when now
we
like
so long without it,
and
as
people
soon as you
just
put
so
it
like
in, it's now new, and we haven't seen it before. Well, this prevalent in media. As soon as you put that in front of people, they're like, "What sort of agenda are you trying to conform to here?" When it doesn't need to be part of an agenda, it just is something that exists.
It's just really weird because it's always like I know that I guess now because it's a bit more like we want to be more progressive and add in these kind of like stories about people and stuff like that, but it's like I don't know, I just don't think it's that big I just don't think it's that big a deal. But then I guess it kind of also is a big deal because people want representation, but don't think it's that big an issue.
Yeah, I've been seeing it kick off quite a bit recently with the Last of Us show. It was something that like people kicked off about a lot with the games where one of the main characters is gay. And then in the second game there's a trans character. And I know when season 2 comes out, people are going to be kicking off about that. But a lot of people are kicking off now that one of the main characters is gay and they have to be gay to like fit this like agenda.
But can't they just be gay because the character in the game was gay? Or is that because of some weird agenda? Like I don't get it.
I think it's like the vocal minority, you know?
Yeah, it is.
It's definitely that.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I know I'm getting a little bit off topic here, but they would definitely say it's the other way around. They would say the woke are the minority.
Up yours, woke moralists.
But anyway, getting back to this movie, yeah, it's in the similar realm though. Like, I don't know why. Like, I understand that they're like, yeah, we do need to tell people that we're gay because like we're gonna scare the straights, and I'm like, but who's really scared apart from people who are so like fragilely like.
It's just something that needs to be destigmatized, right?
Maybe that's. I think that's the word that
so it become normal. People don't get upset when fucking The Last of Us comes out.
Yeah.
Saying that though, see, I want it to be like, it's a bit better than it was then, but I don't really think it's much better than it was then, because I know this was what 2011. I mean, yeah, I can't really say anything to that because you've literally just opened up a sentence with, "Oh God, they were getting pissed off at The Last of Us." And I was like, that was only like 2 years ago. Oh God. It's just embarrassing.
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah. What was also embarrassing was his phone.
Oh my God, why did he have a phone from like the 1800s?
Oh God. You're going to get mad about anything in this movie.
It's that Nokia brick. Holy shit.
God.
Right, yeah, say what you want about it being 2011, but they had better phones from 2011.
Well, you didn't have your LG cookie, my man. They had touchscreens back then. Get with the times, honestly. I like that line where he says, "You smell all minty fresh, and I smell of cock and bum."
I like that a lot, actually. That made me do a bit of a giggle.
Yeah.
If it feels authentic.
Yeah.
What I liked about them actually was that they were they just felt like two just generic men living their life, being gay.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why the movie connects with me so much is it does feel like just that. I feel like you see in a lot of gay characters in like media, especially in Britain. They are very flamboyant, they're very over the top, they're very camp. But I feel like that's a minority of them, whereas these people are just like, they speak pretty normally. If you spoke to them, you wouldn't like say, "Oh, this guy," like you wouldn't guess they were gay from the way they were acting or the way they were talking.
It's the stereotype trope.
Yeah, it's nice to see these characters who aren't stereotypical.
Yeah, that's also quite embarrassing in itself as well. Like I thought we were doing better than playing into stereotypes of people.
Well, when you don't want to associate with like gay people, you won't. So when it comes and you like live in your own little bubble, and then when it comes up, oh, look at that, they've done a gay, one of those gays is on the Last of Us TV show. I thought this was for my straight conscience. And it's like, yeah, oh, imagine that. Fucking it's not got completely like not within your own worldview. Imagine that. But I think like if you live like that, you won't let that kind of thing into your life. But I think like we're people who have been around, you know, we've got friends who are gay and
we've been around.
All that, and LGBT part of the, because I think just if you're a bit more open to it, or just like you realize, oh yeah, actually these people are everywhere. Like it's not like they're trying to hide or anything.
Like,
and
immerse yourself
and they
in it a little
come
bit.
out of the woodwork when you watch fucking some TV show. Like it just doesn't work like that. They're just not. These people just exist. So when you see like a movie and it's like, or a TV show, and it depicts something like that that's more LGBT focused, or just implements it, and you've closed yourself off to that entire world, of course you're going to be like, what the fuck? These woke moralists, they're destroying our country, you know?
I kind of do see what you mean. It's almost like, if you haven't ever surrounded yourself with something, it is going to be a bit of a shock to
Plato's
you,
allegory of the cave sort of thing.
Yeah, but with different cultural ideologies and stuff. Totally.
Always comes back to the cave.
I'm telling you, Chris, everything comes back to the cave, mate. It's the philosophy
we say
of the
every
lifetime.
week, everything comes back to the cave.
All roads lead to the cave.
Yeah. I think the first time I watched it, it just instantly struck me how authentic it feels.
It does. Are they both gay for... For
realsies?
I fucking hate myself.
I don't know.
But don't think it matters.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
No, I don't know. It just felt kind of... Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
It doesn't matter because it feels authentic, but when you watch something like The Danish Girl, where Eddie Redmayne is playing like a trans woman, and it's like, that's like the whole point. It's like so inauthentic. It's like, what are you trying to say? But with here, it just like feels like it's just part of the world. Kind
of. It gave me the impression that I felt like the acting was so... I mean, obviously, I don't know because I didn't look it up.
Tell this story, but with like something like, you can make a movie like that just to like pander to people, or like pander to like award shows and all that. Look what we're doing. We're so progressive, aren't we? But this is not a movie that feels like that. As much as I thought,
because this is quite an underground movie, isn't it?
It feels a bit more genuine.
Yeah, and I think what I'm trying to say is that it felt more personal because, like I said, I don't know, I haven't looked into it, but I felt like they were acting out of like a sheer experience, like, you know, out of their own
cocks.
Yeah, I guess so. Do you know what I mean? Like it kind of felt like there was like some genuine moments of like, I go to the Tesco and you know, like it could have been improvised. He could have just been laying there going, I go to the Tesco's and I'm scared to death because people are going to jump me for being gay. And I'm like, shit,
That's what I like kind of didn't like about it.
Oh, I actually.
It was like, if I want to watch something like that, I could just like have a conversation with the mate. Yeah, or I could just go to Tesco. Like, what fucking difference does it make to me?
Well, yeah. I
I'm like,
don't know. What's good a Tesco going to do
it's
for
like,
you?
it's so authentic to that experience that I'm just like, why don't I just like go outside and get the exact same experience? What, like, it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would find it quite hard up to go to the Tesco's and start ringing a bell outside and being like, hello, non-heterosexuals, please come and talk to me.
Yeah.
Well,
for me,
I
that's
don't know
like,
if that's what I'm saying.
No. But I know what you mean, though.
for me, that's like exactly one of the things I like about it. Is
Yeah,
that
that's
it
why
does
I like
feel
it.
very real. I think like a lot of it for me is that it just feels really relatable in a lot of ways, and I like kind of see myself through watching the movie.
Yeah.
This is where Chris just goes off on one about,
Just dumps you.
yeah, because he's like, shit.
Goes off to find love, the long lost love.
Yeah, it's hard to say when something like this doesn't resonate with me, but then I watch something like, I don't know, Fish Tank, and that's very much like of an area where I am more acquainted, and it feels a bit more authentic, and I'm like, yeah, but that's like really good, and I'm interested in it, but it's like, this is also going for like a sort of same type of, I guess maybe it's more like an area thing for me, where I just don't like, if you're putting your movie in a place I am already very familiar with, you have to do something very drastic to convince me that what I'm watching is not like a completely different experience, or that it is a completely different experience than just going to my local Tesco.
Right, okay, I totally understand what you mean now. Yeah, actually, I guess that is kind of true, because it is. I mean, maybe in a sense, it is probably supposed to be watched by people not in these areas, maybe.
Yeah,
but no, I do kind of get what you're saying. It's yeah, it doesn't make it any. There's no new perspective on it, really.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, yeah. But then again, I didn't really. I actually kind of found it kind of strangely refreshing. I love watching these, like, I don't in a way actually, because they always end fucking sad or someone dies or something. But I love watching these like gritty, grainy, like British movies, because they always look so fucking horrible. And I'm like, that's what Britain looks like. Because people like from America and stuff will be like, oh my God, Britain, like, you know, when they do like in the movies where they go to like Britain or something, they're like,
it's
oh my
just like
God, it's
Paddington,
so,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's like so amazing. And then
Agent Cody Banks too.
yeah,
There's another one.
Exactly. And then someone from the UK or whatever will literally film a piece of shit, and I'm like, that is what Britain is. It looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it was pretty, I was like, oh God. Like, I was like, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
you have it so great. You know, you're living in fucking Paddington World and Harry Potter and all that, and it looks so good.
With the Queen.
Yeah. Probably go for tea with the Queen every other weekend.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that is exactly what I love about British films, is that you see a British film and you go, oh God, this is Britain. And I'm like, yes. I love it. There's something really gritty about it. I just love it.
What's not so gritty about it is the lack of cocks. We feel like there's just like a massive taboo on showing penises in movies. You can show any part of a woman you like. Any fucking part of a woman you can show in a movie. But even like the grittiest fucking movie, just like no cocks.
There's a couple of them in there.
There was not.
There was a couple, yeah.
I completely disagree.
But there was. But I guess they
You
were
see
only.
both the central main characters naked.
Well, I guess in fairness to
you
Max,
know what, you do actually. Yeah,
you only see them for like a second at a time. Yeah, I mean, I guess also like it's also like it's also like another thing with like you know, in the sexual scenes where but this happens in a lot of like TV shows and stuff as well, but I don't know if that's because it's TV and not movies. But anyway, it's the same thing, right? Where you never see you never see a dick, but you can always see like a lady's genitalia just swooping about all over the gaff like it's fine, but never a cock.
Swinging about.
I can't, I can't.
Like a fucking pendulum.
But you know what I mean? It's always like...
Yeah, mainstream media, they're all about that pendulous pussy just all over the show, but show one bell end. No thanks.
I think a lot of it comes down to
really underground.
With like American movies, their rating system.
Isn't it rated like the second there's a penis, it's like an X or something?
NC-17.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's not the case like, all the time. Like, there's probably plenty of like R-rated movies with penises, but a lot of the time, if you see
incredible.
Like something overtly sexual related to a man like that, then it normally gets an NC-17.
That's
I think also
amazing.
Like female orgasms also pretty much instantly get an NC-17. There's like a documentary called "This Film Is Not Yet Rated," and that's something they go into in that.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Gotta watch that at some point.
But that kind of feeds into the taboo again, though, doesn't it? This like the stigma of
they can't know we come.
Yeah. Or oh no, don't let them see your willy. It's just really bizarre to me, to be honest.
There's a bit in this where one of them wipes cum off his chest.
Oh, fuck off. That, like, you made me shudder. That actually made me shudder.
When we were going into it, like, it came up on Mubi saying contains, like,
cum on chest.
Very graphic sex or something. And I was like, I don't remember there being anything that graphic in it. And like 20 minutes later, someone's wiping cum off their chest.
It wasn't.
Is that graphic, though?
Is that
more graphic than, like, showing a guy stabbed to death, which we're all for?
I am so fucking glad that Max brought this up, because I said, oh, this doesn't seem that graphic. And then Chris is like, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I am actually.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm a bit more viscerally affected by somebody getting torn asunder, which we're all fine and dandy to watch and show on TV.
Do you know what it is? I think, right.
Then I am like seeing someone come.
Right,
it's probably because we have seen and experienced it.
What, coming or?
Yeah.
Oh,
We've
right.
not seen
for yourself.
Like, I think
Max may be the exception here.
I think personally, I think it also. This could be a bit of a weird tangent, right? But we are so desensitized to like violence and like like gore and stuff. Like everyone loves like a fucking horror movie. Like people play like all the fucking shooting games and stuff, right? I think we're so desensitized to it that like we don't really care about seeing it. Whereas apparently the second so like you're sitting in a room with your parents and you're watching a movie. Apparently watching someone getting bludgeoned to death would make you flinch.
If you're a parent, why don't you take a little second and think to yourself, because not a lot of people don't do it enough, why you're so comfortable with buying your child like a Call of Duty game where you literally just like shoot people in the fucking face and their heads explode. Why is that okay for you to do, but the moment you see a woman come, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is too far.
Yeah, I've never understood this. It just doesn't seem like, I mean, I think personally, if you are going to start buying your like 9-year-olds shootout games where like they're literally like killing people left, right and centre.
Is it because of capitalism? We want to go down that road. You can monetize shooting someone in the head. But can you monetize an orgasm?
It's called porn. But obviously you can't really, we can't really have this kind of like wait a minute though. I mean, obviously, like we can't really have this argument when it comes to like children, because obviously, there are many protection laws around like children, like watching sex.
Like,
no, we're not. But what I'm trying to get at is what. Yeah, no. This isn't about that, but it kind of is related to it. Like, why is it then okay for children to then play these games where they become so desensitized to like violence and like really gory, graphic, like you know what I mean?
Why
like,
we feel
violence,
a bit more comfortable sitting down with our parents and watching a Quentin Tarantino movie than we do sitting down with our parents and watching a movie with a sex scene in it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Why is that more upsetting to us or like more uncomfortable?
Normalise watching Gaspar Noé's Love with your parents.
No.
I don't think I'll do that either. From what I've heard about it, I don't think anyone should be doing that. Actually,
no, I should be watching it just generally.
I just think it's a really skewed perception of like what is okay and what is comfortable. I guess like. Are we all just so like afraid of sexual content? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
You can't have too much pleasure, right?
I really don't know, man. Anymore. I don't know. Is this all just a ploy to get us to kill each other and join the army, or I don't know anymore?
I think
like
it's maybe that cynical.
Could it be?
Well, maybe it is. I think there's
really
a real edge of cynicism to it.
I am
where
pretty.
Like we're just more comfortable with showing violence than we are sex.
Well, the thing is, we get I realised like a couple of years ago how like desensitized I was to like certain things, because like obviously I know we all are, but I never realised just how like desensitized I was to like these kind of things until no case in particular, because I wouldn't even remember. But like you hear on the radio all the time about like every day you hear on the radio something like 6 people were shot and stabbed to death at a nightclub in blah blah blah, or at a place in blah blah blah, or blah blah blah, and you're like, oh, another one.
Yeah. And
that's it. That's all you say. Like you don't even think, oh damn, that was actually like another human being. Like that was a life. That was like somebody cared about those people. Like that's really fucking sad. But instead, I just went, oh fucking hell, another one, and that's really fucked up.
Just, how they get you.
Yeah, it's just.
That is how they get you.
And I'm starting to think that maybe I'm becoming less human as like time goes by, or maybe it's just because everyone else is just as desensitized as me, but hasn't realised it yet.
Maybe so.
Wow, sorry, that got really fucking like Plato's Republic. Here I fucking come, boys. Like, I'm going to be writing my own philosophy novels.
Yeah, think about it, idiot. Think about it, sheeple. All right.
I'll get my own podcast out.
How about some fucking introspection for once in your life? All right. Let's rate this movie.
Yeah, what do you want to rate it out of, Chris?
Well, I read that apparently for any scene where like the characters have got erections, they used carrots. So I think we should rate it out of carrots.
I like that fact. I wish you had led
like in
with
their
that.
underwear.
Yeah.
I like that.
Say you can't show a bare erection with a carrot. I'd notice.
And they used hand soap for the cum.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Like a Carex.
Yeah, something like that.
To be fair, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. This I think it's a really, really beautiful movie. Connect with it a lot. Find it obsessively relatable in a lot of ways. This film I definitely enjoyed a lot more than second watch. Bought the Blu-ray as soon as it finished, so excited to watch it again. I think I'll give it 10 carrots out of 10. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
That's just my opinion, man.
Yeah.
Wake up, sheeple.
It was okay. I would have felt better if it was better.
Yeah.
I would have felt better if I hadn't seen how gross that guy's fingernails were.
Which one?
Give it 5 carrots out of 10.
Now I can't stop thinking about which.
Too British. Too British.
I don't know. I like that it was very British. It was just gritty and gross, and I was like, "Yes, Britannia, I love ye." I had quite a, I wouldn't say fun time with it, because I don't think any of these movies were fun. But
whoa, hey, whoa. That's another thing as well, right? Weren't there any fun LGBT movies?
Oh, don't. I've had this conversation.
They all end in fucking tragedy, right?
I have said this a million fucking times, but I'll get to that at another point, because it will only cause me heartache and misery, much like these movies. I had a fairly decent time. Probably wouldn't watch it again in a hurry, but knowing Chris, I'll probably end up watching it next year. So I'm going to give it 8 carrots out of 10. Crunchy carrots.
Got a crunch on them carrots, baby.
I do like that fact. That was actually quite
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Crunchy.
Crunchlicious.
Speaking of
Crunchlicious
movies, I recommended one called A Fantastic Woman. It's from Chile. directed by Sebastian Lelio, and this involves a transgender woman called Marina. She is romantically entwined with a man called Orlando. He's quite an old man.
Aren't we all?
He is, yeah, we are all quite old men in our heart of hearts. And he falls down the stairs, he stacks it, and he fucking has to go to the hospital. She's like, damn it, Orlando, I told you not to fall down those stairs. And he dies, and it's all about her kind of coming to terms with that, their relationship. Sort of questions who she is, just to communicate with his family, and things come up like, is she allowed at the funeral, is she allowed at the wake, and the guy's family they don't really like her all that much.
Yeah, they're less than savoury with her, I suppose.
They are less than savoury with her, bar, like maybe one or two of them. But I guess it's just about her trying to navigate that, I guess, and what it means to lose someone, or like be in that kind of relationship where they weren't married, but they were kind of in a they were together.
Yeah, they seemed serious.
They were serious, but not in like felt quite hookup-y. But
it did a bit, didn't it? But it had been going on for like a really long time.
Yeah, it'd been going on for a while.
The way they present it, like, kind of isn't even like that at all. It's almost like they just met. Yeah. Because it like skips forward in time and doesn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess,
was really confused.
Yeah, a lot of it you have to kind of like... you
have to infer a bit.
Yeah, you have to kind of like put bits and pieces together almost.
That's where I'm thinking it's not the most solid of movies. I thought it was decent. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
But as the experience goes, I thought I probably could have gotten a bit more from it. But as a movie, I suppose, just trying to tackle like the trans experience. I mean, I don't really know all that much about that experience, but I thought the movie did a decent job with it. You know, I thought it kind of explored like the beats you'd sort of want to explore in a movie like this, I guess. Because it's not really about... It is about her being trans, but it's also about like their relationship as well, and what it means to like be in a relationship with like an older guy if you're quite young.
Yeah.
That's probably more what it was about.
I kind of felt it was just all about transphobia.
It was,
I didn't really feel like it tackled the trans experience or what it was like to be trans more than it just kind of tackled like people just being like against that and being very bigoted and transphobic.
Yeah, I didn't get many many themes of like what it was like to be... Well, actually, no, that's not true. What it was like for trans people if you weren't trans, right? Like, because you're seeing just how other people are behaving around her. Like, it was quite
antagonistic, isn't it?
Yeah, it was also quite uncomfortable because it was literally like, and I understand that the actress herself is trans, so she must have been comfortable for art's sake to tell this kind of like narrative where she's literally getting like fucking like annihilated by like people. But I guess it's got kind of really uncomfortable in that way as well, because it's sort of like, damn, yeah, like, God, yeah, this is a great movie. Like, near the beginning, well, not the beginning, like, ish, where that police guy comes and speaks to her and was like, where's your ID? And she's like, oh, it's still pending. And then she's like, well then, sir. And I'm like, oh, now we're getting all, antagonistic and starting to throw our genders back in our face because you can't respect it for what it is. But like, it felt more like this is a great film about how not to act around people who are trans rather than being trans. But I think part of why I feel like that is also because I'm just thinking about that stupid scene when she's in the car and that song, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman is playing. And I was like, oh, this is really like crude. This feels like...
Yeah, I saw like multiple reviews on Letterboxd saying about how heavy-handed that was.
It was clumsy,
way too on the nose, wasn't it?
It was like,
come on.
I just kind of, I don't know, like I just kind of feel like that's really like bold, but like in the wrong way.
Yeah. Like, dude, like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it's like, it's also like, and this, I don't want this to come across as like sounding bad, especially like if you haven't seen the movie and don't know what I'm talking about, but I didn't really care about her.
No.
But only because she had no personality, and her only arc was, I'm navigating a world through being trans. Like, I've forgotten her last name. We didn't find out what her favourite colour is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't really learn anything about her other than that she's trans. I hate that. Oh, God. I hate that.
I think that's my biggest problem with it. I feel like a lot of the movie is kind of just, it's pointing its finger at transphobia and saying, oh, this is shit, isn't it? This is sad. This is horrible how people are treated. And yeah, it is. It is really fucked up. It is really sad. I have a few friends who are transgender, and like, imagining this sort of stuff happening to them, it's heartbreaking. But on like a storytelling level and as a movie, it doesn't really, elicit that same sort of like emotion, because you don't really have any connection with the character. You don't really understand who they are. You just kind of, it's almost like just seeing like a blank person just being attacked.
Yeah, and it's even weirder still, because just previously said that the actress herself is trans. You would have thought she would have like had a bit more say about like implementing at least some sort of like character development that didn't revolve around that, because that's also another thing that I understand, like identity and stuff is like heavily really important to people who are trans, for obvious reasons, but like it's not the only thing. So like, why is the only thing I ever learn about this woman, apart from the fact that she might have loved this guy but didn't really give off the vibes that she really, 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 really loved him? It was like, I don't know, I just felt like, yeah, I could have been watching anyone, basically. Like, just replace it with something else. Like, she could have been just shat on for being a woman, for example, or I don't know, she could have been from a different country. You know what I mean? Like, you could have shat on her for any sort of thing, and this would have been like almost the same sort of experience, if that makes sense. It's like, people are shit because they have like polarizing views about like what is sacred, what is natural, what is real, what is belief, and it's like, oh, God, this film's just giving me nothing. I felt like this film did give me nothing personally, if that makes sense. Like, it was kind of boring.
It was quite boring. Yeah,
like, not to be rude, because I felt like I felt like it was trying to tell me something like quite powerful, but it just, for me, it felt kind of flat. Flat is the word. This film was flat.
It was like Knives Out, but like worse, I thought, in terms of like trying to tell a story about like a marginalized character and how people treat them differently because they are
a marginalized character. Yeah,
that movie hit it on the head a lot more than this one did. No, it's not tackling like trans issues, but certainly in that movie it was more like about her being Cuban and from a poor background. But in here it's like, and she was trans, and that's basically as far as they go with it. I think it is also about, there's a few other things that they kind of touch on, I suppose, like being in love with an older man, or like what that means, or like why they treated her so poorly because of that.
That's probably part of it, to be honest.
Called her like, was it like his ex-wife? She said that he was perverted or something, or like it was a perversion that they were together.
Yeah,
and I never got that. She was like, it was a perversion because she was trans, or was it a perversion because she was very young?
Well, didn't she say something on the lines of he basically had like a fetish or something? Which is it one or is it the other? And then did she call her something like a chima or cheerer or something? Remember, I had to look it up.
Chimera
or something.
Chimera.
Yeah, that's right. I had to look it up because I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah. And I was like,
hybrid animal.
Yeah, which is kind of fucked up when you think about it, especially in the context. But then, I guess that's just exactly it, isn't it? She was probably hinting at the fact that it was perverse because she was trans and not because she was younger.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, forgetting about all the like the trans issues and stuff for a second, I feel like if I was part of that family, I probably wouldn't like her either, because she was with a man who was married and probably knew that and knew it was wrong and just went along with it anyway. Probably. I'm not saying that was definite, but I don't think I'd like her much either if she like fucked up my family like that. Like, but
and I don't know why she bothers trying to integrate herself a bit further within that family anyway.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Like, yeah, okay, like they're not letting you go to the funeral. Like, that's, you do have a right to do that. But also, like, I'd probably just cut my losses, you know, because why the fuck do you want to be stood there with a bunch of people who hate you?
Yeah, it just seems like she was, and it was, I don't think she was even doing it on purpose, because, yeah, you're right, like, if she was with him for a really long time, we don't really know if she was, but like if she was with him for a really long time, she also deserves to mourn that loss, like, you know, regardless of how long it's been or whatever. But yeah, why the fuck would you put yourself in a situation where the family are clearly transphobic and don't like you, and you're going to put yourself out there to get, what happens? She gets fucking beaten up.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be great if the second that low point of this movie was not her getting hate crimed?
Oh, but it was, it was!
It has to be that.
Yeah, like, I fucking hated that so much. But I don't even want to say it was necessary, because I don't think it fucking was. Like, a lot of these movies tend to tackle, like, and don't get me wrong, like, I understand that, you know, you know, people will treat you really shitty, but, like, why has it always got to be so glam? Like, it's so, like, it's always the struggles and never, like, the you know, I triumph through all this bullshit that goes on. It's never about that, ever.
No.
It's always like,
these
our
people
lives are
live
so
terrible,
shit.
horrible lives, and they're always hate crimed at every opportunity.
Yeah. And I guess, and to be honest, I actually think I understand that they're doing it for, like, you know, there's got to be a bit of awareness in your story about, like, how we treat people and, you know, what not to do and stuff. But surely this has got to be quite dangerous for someone to watch and feel like they can't be themselves because they will get hate crimes when they're walking down the street. Just
imagine trying to find representation in these movies, but just, like, time after time you're confronted with movies that don't really care about showing you an authentic experience and more about how, yeah, it's terrible, isn't it, living like this? You guys, you deserve better. It's like, make a movie like that then.
Yeah, it's like,
make a movie where it is better. It doesn't have to be like, you know, in real life, I don't think that trans people and gay people have been, like, hate crimed on the street every fucking waking moment of their lives. Like, it's just not realistic. Why don't you, like, create a movie that's a bit more realistic on that end and not like, and everyone hates them and they have to live this sheltered life.
Yeah, it's just
not,
it's so
it's
sad.
Not real, is it?
Yeah, it's not even like, at least, like, I guess in a film like Blue Jean, at least that had some sort of, like, underlying, like, hopeful, like, nice kind of uplifting ending. It actually was one of the endings that wasn't completely fucking awful in an LGBT movie. I always say this and I go, am I saying the letters right? But, yeah, I was just like, have some representation, but you're not going to fucking like it. Not even one bit you're not going to like it. It's fucking sad, man.
Yeah, all LGBT movies suck. They're all like that.
Yeah, like I said, Blue Jean's the only one that I've seen that didn't end completely depressing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't know whether Chris thought it was a depressing ending, but I thought it was quite hopeful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And it was like the only time I went out and went, oh, thank God for that. Like, I was like waiting for the worst to happen.
But I'm a cheerleader. Didn't they have a happy ending?
Oh yeah, that film did as well. Yeah, she ran off with the other girl. Yeah,
I'm sure there's plenty of them.
Probably.
Yeah, just the majority of them seem to be like, God.
If you want, like, a mainstream one, they're going to be like, yeah, but
you're going to hate your life.
Like, there's something terrible has to happen to them.
Yeah.
It's just, the thing is, I don't even hate the idea of, like, something bad happening to a character in a movie if they're going to be able to overcome an obstacle be from that or because of that or in spite of that. But no, never happens in these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris has given that face like, yeah.
You know, I actually didn't mind the movie all that much. I just thought, it didn't really hit home for me. It didn't really like connect all that much.
No, but were we supposed
to? The more time I spend away from it, the more I just don't really recall it or don't care enough to really think about it all that much.
Yeah, I remember almost nothing about the movie now.
I just don't feel
we watched it yesterday as well.
I don't think we were. I don't feel like. I don't know. I don't know if any of us were gonna connect with this movie in any way, though. It feels very far out of the realms of what we could relate to.
Well, yes, I don't know. There's a way to do it.
I'm not saying that's like the only
way to do it. I just don't think it was really concerned with trying in that sense.
No.
And
maybe
for what
not,
it's worth, technically, I thought it was pretty well put together. It was well shot. It was, there's a few music choices I thought probably shouldn't have been there. They play like a leitmotif a bit too much, and like, what's the point in this like little dreamy little sound bite they keep playing? Like, I don't really care for that. But overall, it's definitely like production-wise, it's decently well put together. It's just it fails on that story level a bit.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, which is a shame because I
felt not to say the story is completely without merit either. I think there's still stuff to get out of it.
The story itself is cool. I'm not finding
myself thinking about it all that much.
No.
Like, I actually quite like the storyline, so to speak. Like, the story of what the film is about is actually quite interesting, but then it's just really boring. Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, nothing's really happening at all.
Although I do quite like the scene where she like goes to the sauna to like find some shit out. She's got that key that the guy had who died. She's like, I'm gonna find what this key unlocks. So she goes to the sauna, opens the locker, and there's nothing in there. And I thought that was quite interesting. Yeah, she was trying to find answers for it. It was but it didn't really give her anything. She just kind of had to go on her way. And I think that's probably what it was more about. It was like she wanted to try to find a bit more meaning in what had happened to her, but really she should have just gone on with her life and tried to find meaning in something else.
My favourite bit was that weird bit where she's in the club and they're doing that weird dance number where everyone's wearing silver and gold jackets. That was weird. I liked that. I don't know why. I think that's because it was like the thing that made me go, oh, something's happening. I don't know what, but something is happening now.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's pretty low bar, to be honest. Like,
something's happening.
Something's happening. Yeah. It was quite interesting though. It was like well done. Everyone was like, dancing like together, doing the fucking jackets, and it was cool. But yeah, whatever. Meh. Should we rate?
Let's rate it.
Yeah, which one rate it out?
Aretha Franklin's.
Okay.
Yeah, make me feel like a natural woman. I actually can't fucking believe that was an actual thing that happened. I feel like I'm taking the piss as I'm saying it.
Yeah, didn't really get a lot out of it. I was glad to see a movie about a trans character played by a trans actress.
Yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you see that often. So yeah, good to see some representation. Just a shame I didn't really get anything out of the movie at all. So I give it like 5 Aretha Franklins out of 10.
Yeah, it was fine. It was well made. Definitely nothing to get too upset about. Just probably could have handled it better, And I'm not really going to say that I'm probably going to watch it again, because in all honesty, I probably won't. It was fine for like a first little watch, and I don't really need to go back to it. I'd probably give it 6 Aretha Franklins out of 10.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to say now. Other than, just I felt like there was nothing for me to get out of it. It was flat, and probably won't ever watch it again. Not because it's a bad movie, but because it's not for me. 6 Aretha Franklins out of 10. Oh, that was a tongue twister for me.
Cheers.
I like the way you just shrugged there, like, whatever.
Whatever.
Okay. So, from the second we picked this on the wheel, I went, I know what movie I'm going to pick. And it's Supernova from 2020, directed by Harry McQueen. Oh my God. Sorry, I just moved my drink. About two partners, Sam and Tusker, who are kind of like traveling around England on like a mini break in their RV. And it's kind of a story about navigating Tusker's illness as he's been diagnosed with onset dementia. And it was a lot of
You're driving me crazy.
That song is a banger.
I have no idea what you were just saying.
Good old Owl City.
Owl City. Dementia.
I was actually
Mark.
I was actually listening to them
Your
today,
favourite, Mark Hoppus.
Oh, that's probably why I've not listened to it, because I hate that guy. No, yeah, I actually listened to them today. They got a new song out called Vitamin C, and it's very interesting. Anyway, that is not anything about this movie. But yeah, Supernova was a movie. In a way, I'm actually quite glad that we finally watched it, because I don't think I would have ever have picked it for the pod otherwise, because I keep forgetting that it exists.
Oh yeah, I never would have watched it. I remember this coming out, and I was like, oh okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Didn't
I really wanted to see
a
it.
Single solitary second of my time.
Darcy wanted to see it, but I was like, nah, it sounds depressing, so just never did.
Yeah, great.
Supernova is my La La Land.
You guys don't watch movies that I recommend. That sounds depressing.
Yeah.
Never mind. One of you is going to be like, that sounds depressing. Don't want to watch that. Well, I have to recommend them for the podcast if I'm going to make you watch them.
To be honest, it's a lot easier to get Chris to watch a movie than to get me to watch a movie. Therefore, if there's a film you're really burning for me to watch, it's got to be on the pod. Otherwise, I'm never going to watch it. It's just straight facts, boys. It's just how it is.
I think for
Just
me,
keep
it was
that in
just
mind.
like after watching like The Father and Amor and Vortex, I was just like, can I really do another one of these?
Yeah, I
It
actually
takes its toll.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be so much worse though.
Yeah.
So that sounds bad to say, doesn't it? But it wasn't as like, it wasn't as I've not seen any of these movies, but I know the weight of it, and this didn't have that kind of weight.
Yeah, because you don't really see like the full like. Don't see him
it's
like
quite early,
super degenerated. It is very early on, so it's kind of like all about them talking about what it could be rather than what it actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no expectations really. I didn't know what it was about.
No.
No, I looked it up like 10 minutes before we watched it, which is weird because I was like, oh, I want to really watch this, but I'd never looked up what it was about.
Who you got? Colin Firth, one of the great Collins of our time.
In it.
Stanley Tucci, the Toochmeister, the Tooch Man.
The Toochmeister.
One of the great Stanleys.
Prime of their fucking game. They just love watching them. I thought they were really good. And I love the relationship that they were portraying. I really like this movie actually.
Yeah, they're strangely believable, aren't they?
Yeah, they have really good chemistry together.
Fantastic chemistry, man. You just want to see more of them. I really liked how they were just kind of going on a road trip.
Yeah, it was like a little holiday.
It was like a hangout movie. You get to hang out with them. And
yes.
sort of, although in the background there's something very upsetting and horrendous happening, but also you are just kind of hanging out with them and watching how they gel. And I thought they really came across as very authentic in the way that they were like portraying this relationship and the fact that they were a couple. I thought it really got a lot out of it. I really liked them.
Yeah, that was the stuff I liked the most, was literally just them hanging with their dog.
Yeah, I like
just
that.
living life.
I also quite appreciate the fact that they're slightly older gay men, because you don't see that a lot in these movies where they're like, I don't know what, they got to be at least in their late 40s or something. You know? Yeah, you got to be.
And they got to never
hot and
see each
young.
other again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we were talking about earlier weekend, how a lot of like gay media, it has to be like a huge deal that they're gay, whereas this is not. They don't
just a romance, really, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't really make a deal about it at all.
And also, they're not young and sexy. They're old and sexy.
Yeah.
They're old and sexy.
It's like a story that it doesn't matter their sexual orientation or their gender or anything. It's just it's a kind of universal story, I'd say.
Yeah, I felt like it. Yeah, they didn't need to be gay, but I guess that's part of the beauty of it. Is that, who gave a fuck? I didn't give a fuck.
What we need more of, really.
Yeah.
In the scene.
Yeah,
just
don't
whatever.
make a deal about it. It's just how it is.
It's just what was happening. Yeah, and no one else seemed to give a fuck either. They were just like whatever.
Yeah, they're all on board because fucking Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci there.
Well, yeah,
Just
they've been
being
together
amazing.
for 20 years apparently, so it makes sense.
Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci, they've been together for 20 years, man. They were like, we better make a movie about how we've been together for 20 years. And they made this.
And one of us really
Yes.
ill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like the fact that they did that. That was just mean.
Yeah, I had Chris in my ear this whole fucking time being like, he doesn't like Weekend because he's drunk and he's had too much to drink. And that's why. And he said he was falling asleep and that's why. And then, what do you know? I turned on Supernova and I'm like, this fucking slaps.
It's
I love it. It's so good. It's rejuvenated my entire lifestyle. So yeah, I guess it wasn't. I was just there in the moment, man.
I'm not gonna
watching
lie.
them go through these lovely, lovely places.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
Love their road trip. They go to these really nice places, lovely greens and of their countryside. I'm like, damn, man, I'm so jealous. If only I was doing this, but also didn't have dementia.
Oh, do you know what? I was actually so happy when Max was like, in contrast, this movie's so much better. And I was like, oh, thank God for that. No, because I was like, oh no. Because I've got a bit of a bad rep on this pod for picking films that are like no bueno. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do it again. I'm not doing it. It's not going to be another Telstar. It's not happening. It's not happening. And I was like,
That only happens when we involve your mother.
Yeah, that
oh
is
my
true.
God, that is true. Oh,
Except for Outlaw.
yeah, that
was all Darcy.
That was an anomaly
Yeah, to be
that
fair,
we've never repeated.
Yeah, that was definitely by accident though, because I heard it was controversial and I said, well, I guess we better watch it then, and it was controversial for pretty much all the correct
Never pick
reasons.
the controversial ones.
No, it was a bad idea. I've learnt my lesson.
Straight
But
down
anyway,
the middle.
yeah.
We're straight down the middle here. It has to have at least a 70% on Metacritic, or we're not even going to consider it. It cannot be in the least bit controversial. Absolutely not.
Can it have a 69 instead?
Nah, too low.
Well, that's just rude. But speaking of 69s, there's no sex in this movie. How disappointing. I just wanted to segue back to the movie, and this was
It's
the
too
only
sad to have
thing I could
sex.
think of.
Yeah, I mean, literally one of the last scenes, like them making out, they're about to happen. He's too upset to do it.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
God.
It's
I
so
was
sad.
just trying to bring it back round.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
This film kind of kills you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just kind of kills
Well, I
you.
imagine that's what it would be like if you knew your partner was like at the end of their life
Yeah,
and you didn't have much time together.
Degenerating. He's going to forget you. He wants to die.
Yeah.
But instead of losing his memory, which I think is a common problem that a lot of people who have like early onset dementia kind of tackle, like suicidal tendencies. So it was like kind of tackling the ethics of suicide, and I'm just like, oh God, oh, it must be so unbelievably upsetting to watch your partner have to go through that, and then you as the one who's like watching it all happen, that's unbelievably hard. And I love the end of it where it's like it's not showing that. I'm like, you can't do this to me, and
oh my
then
God, I
show
thought that as well.
Stanley Tucci losing his mind completely. Like, you just
Yeah.
can't do that. That would be too horrible to show.
Oh, what, like they
Being
they
very
cut to
poor
black,
taste,
then
I thought, yeah.
and then they find that he's like
I'm like, he's there, like,
in
yeah.
bed bound or something. Yeah,
And
that would have been
Firth is like looking after him,
absolutely
and he can't even like
horrific.
remember. And I'm like, oh, God,
I kind of
no.
I
They
mean,
do just
yeah.
enough with it. You
Yeah.
understand exactly what's happening.
yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of leave it open-ended in a way. You
They
don't
do a
know
little
whether
bit, yeah.
he might have actually taken his own life because he said he planned to do it during the recital.
That's what
how
I
the
was
film
thinking. I
ends.
thought, oh, maybe when he's playing it, he's like thinking about how he would not happy, but he would be at peace finally, maybe. And obviously, he's playing like this peaceful piano, and I was like, oh, it's quite poetic, but it's also like, how would you do that? How would you do a recital? Pardon me, I'll just ground like a fucking frog. Like, how could you be okay doing? I don't know. It's just there's just a lot happening here, isn't there? There's probably no right way of experiencing this kind of thing.
Exactly. It was definitely about that.
Yeah.
And like, what's the right way? Is there a right way
Yeah.
to deal with these kinds of things? Because, you know, as much as we can go through these experiences and have a lot of people throughout the ages go through these experiences, there's no like one correct way to go about this and like grieve as it's happening, you know? And I love that scene like right at the end where Colin Firth's like, just let me be with you. And it's like, yeah, fuck, man. It's about like decisions that you have to make.
Yeah.
It's not just about the fact that this dementia is going to happen and it is inevitable. It's about what you do with those circumstances, and do you let people into your life or do you push people away, and what's the correct thing to do about that?
I guess it's I guess from Tusker's perspective as well, it's probably one of those things where it's like it was almost easier to bow out before it gets to the point where it's that heartbreaking, if that makes like, because I was saying to Chris that either way they're both going to be pretty heartbroken no matter what happens either way. But is it better to go when you still got your sound of mind, you still know who you love, who you are, if that makes sense? Like, I mean, I guess it's one of those things that, you don't know until you're in the situation, but it's kind of, it's hard not to think about it from his, like, I wasn't thinking about Colin at all, basically. I was just, what was his name? Sam. I wasn't thinking about Sam at all, to be honest. I was like, oh yeah, it must be so difficult for him to have to watch him do that. But I was just thinking about it from Tusker's perspective the whole time. I was like, I just kept saying to Chris, if this was me, I would bow the fuck out as well, because there is no fucking way that anyone wants to be put through any of that. Like, it's not fair on anybody in the situation. And I was just like, you got to think about it from his perspective, man. Like, I felt sad for Sam, but I was like, you're not the one living with it. Like, you're just watching it happen. Like, he's living with it, but he's not living with having it. And I'm like, I just wasn't, I was feeling bad for him, but I was like, nah, I think Tusker's got I think he was, I think he dealt with it in the way that he probably would only do for himself. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tricky one.
Yeah, I was certainly thinking about it from both perspectives, really. I'm not gonna be like, oh, who's worse off, really? Because at the end of the day, very not an ideal situation to be in on either side of it. As somebody who has, had seen partners go through very tough times, it's gutting to watch them go through it, but also it's gutting for you because you're trying to help, you can't help. There's just things
that's
you
what
can't
makes
do.
It worse. You just can't do.
That's gutting for the other party as well. And it's like, I was kind of straddling that line where I was like, oh man, Stanley Tucci, don't do it, bro. You got some, oh God. But then I was also thinking, oh, Colin, man, I feel you, bro. You're a sweet little soul,
Oh,
and you just
was so sweet.
Try to get through it. But like, how do you navigate that? There's no rule book for it. It's just like, you can only try to enact what you think is the correct way to do.
Yeah, and there
a
isn't one,
situation like this, and I just don't think there is ever
there
a
isn't
correct way to do it.
It's hard because it's hard because it almost like puts an expiration date on your relationship. Like, you spent all this time together, and now you know that very soon you're going to lose the person that's like you're the closest to in the world.
Well,
must be heartbreaking.
I hate to be that person, because I'm pretty sure I said this when we were watching it, but like, everyone dies, right? So like, no one consciously gets with someone going, oh, they're gonna die in like 50, 60 years time, so I shouldn't get with them.
You don't think about that?
No, but I mean, like, so I get
think about that a lot.
I guess in a way you do. You have to think about that sometimes, where it's like, oh God, like, one day, what am I going to do?
Well, I don't think you ever actually truly think about it. It's not till,
not till something happens and you're like that happens, to think about it. Yeah,
they get dementia or like terminal cancer or something. That's when you're really hit with the reality of losing that person. But
it's just the fact that it's inevitable for everybody at any capacity, which really fucking sucks now that I'm actually like,
we're all going to die, and as is everyone you love.
But hey, they had a good time with their little road trip.
Yeah, they seemed
nice places. They loved each other. Their little dog.
They had a nice life, from what it sounds like.
They filmed the whole thing in the Lake District, which was a beautiful place.
Oh man,
nice place. Yeah,
I want to go to the Lake District. Should we just like fuck off Cornwall and go to the Lake District instead?
Fuck off this podcast. Let's go now.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, we'll get Tucci.
I've got nothing better to do. Let's go.
Go on the road.
Colin, can I borrow your RV.
I read that they were both like cast as the opposite role, and when they were like practicing, like rehearsing together and reading together, they just like had an agreement that they thought they should swap. So they went to the director and was like, I think we should swap roles.
I can't imagine it being played the other way around.
No, yeah.
I think it is perfect.
It's so... It feels so...
necessary.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I obviously don't know them as people, but it felt a bit more characteristic to like them as well, which is kind of weird. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say
who
there.
they play and who they're good at playing.
Tucci was very good at playing like he was very quite held back and he didn't really give much away. He never like burst into tears about the fact that he was like losing his mind.
He's very calm, isn't he?
Yeah, he was more the guy to sort of talk Colin Firth down and be like, it's going to happen. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Also, I don't really think they could have played it, the roles reversed. That seems quite weird to me, but I only think that because now I've seen the movie and I know
exactly,
how it goes.
Yeah.
Who's to say? I think they're both brilliant actors. I think they probably could have just done it, but
it probably would have been good.
I do like the way they did manage it. Yeah, really good performances.
Yeah, they're so good.
Some are like the best ones of that year. I think 2020.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know if they got nominated for anything.
No, don't think so.
I don't know. This was one of those films that I felt like
bit too
came out and then I don't know. I felt like no one had seen it because like I was talking about it with like my mum or something at one point, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like I've not seen anything about this movie," and I was like, "It's a pandemic movie, isn't it? Like probably no one saw it. Probably no one knew about it." I think it was a sad what's the word? Unfortunate incident of the time that it came out. That's what I feel about it because I think it could have done quite well had it come out at any other point than 2020.
I think it was one of those ones where it got like online film screenings, like film festival screenings in 2020, but didn't actually really get a wide release until 21. But I was just looking at the release date and it was like over here it was like a couple weeks after the lockdown lifted. Like so
that's what I mean.
It was probably a lot of people didn't want to go back to the cinema yet.
Yep. And I think it is unfortunately a lot of movies from 2020 and 2021 are unfortunately suffered as a result of that through no fault of their own.
It's one that I think if you put onto like Netflix or something, it would probably do really, really well because these are like recognisable actors that a lot of people love.
Yeah, I reckon in a couple years maybe it'll have like its resurgence or something. Like people, maybe it will go to Netflix and people will be like, "God, have you seen this movie?" And I'll be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, well, it's on Netflix now and nobody can go to because they've destroyed their algorithm and shunned everyone who can't share passwords anymore.
Yeah, that is true. They'll be like, "Oh, have you seen that movie?" No, because
I forgot to update my password 10 years ago.
I also forgot to change my Wi-Fi status from last month. I'm locked out of Netflix forever now. That's fucking mental. I think about that too much.
I'll get the Blu-ray at some point, I think, because I think it's like a really good-looking movie.
Yeah, I've seen it in HMV a couple times, and it's quite cheap actually, to be honest.
Yeah, because no one knows about it.
Exactly, and that is the biggest shame of it all, because I had an itching to see this movie, and there was a reason I had an itching to see this movie.
Thanks, Tooch.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else to say about it. It's a very contained, simple movie.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh man, I remember when we were watching it, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to totally rate it out of that," and now I can't remember what it was. So let's rate it out of triangles.
Why?
Because he speaks about triangles in the movie.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. Oh my god, did anyone watch this movie? Right, so they're laying in bed together, and he's like, "Tell me how to read the constellation along this thing," and he goes, "Right, first off, you need to find and then he goes, "What's the name of this thing?" And he goes, "It's a triangle." And he's like, "Okay, the triangle." And then you've got to cut it in half and all this other shit. So I'm doing triangle. There you go, triangle.
Okay.
Triangle.
Yeah, I thought this was a very well made movie. Quite sweet, quite sad. I didn't love it. Don't know if I would actually watch it again. I feel like I got everything out of it that I could have done, but good movie. Recommend it. Give it 6 triangles out of 10.
I love you, Tooch. Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy, the Tooch. Had a really good time with it. Perfect for a nice little wind down. Go to sleep, sort of think about how
And cry.
Life is
Fleeting.
life is you just got to live it, and I was thinking about just kind of living life and going on road trips.
Go see
with a
some more
dog.
green. Oh, that dog was gorgeous.
Yeah, thanks Tooch and Harry McQueen. Not really seen any of his movies before.
I've never even heard of him. Bless him.
He did one other movie.
Cool. Maybe I'll check that out. Later on, 7 triangles out of 10.
Yeah. Good movie. Good movie. Thoughts might be pending on a second watch. 7 triangles out of 10.
Woo! Dementia, you're driving me crazy. We're back in a few weeks.
Oh.
Take some time off.
Taking a little break.
I thought he said Beck, not back.
We're back. We're back with our special guest Beck.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, we're back on Easter Sunday, baby.
Woo!
Get your Jesus candles ready because we're cooking up a fiery one. April 9th, back with you for episode 118.
Woo!
And I guess we should spin a wheel.
Yeah,
Tell
let's
us exactly what the fuck we're going to watch.
Yeah.
What carnage we have to come back to.
I know,
pick
we're
up
going to
the
be like,
pieces
oh.
for.
Yeah, since we're taking a bit of a break, I will just keep spinning it until we get something that is actually going to be substantive.
No. What's the point of having a wheel if we're going to do that?
I don't want to do the wheel and it comes up with something really shit.
How about we spin the wheel and we
That's
just
as good as
decide
just
from
choosing
that, yeah.
something. Then.
Exactly. So just spin the wheel.
Why do we even have this method?
Exactly. This method fucking is because of that noise.
It better come up with something like amazing immediately.
Oh my! I want to be something
I want it
really
to be here for an
bad.
hour.
Mad Max.
We're doing Mad Max. Should we do Mad Max?
All 4 of them?
Yes.
I don't know.
Of course.
I don't know anything about this franchise. So.
Oh, awesome.
There's 2 good ones in there.
There's one of the best movies ever made in there. So yeah, well happy to do that. But it means going through the slog that is that first movie.
And the 3rd one, which is awful.
Terror Dome, Thunderdome, even.
Yeah, Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond the Thunderdome.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Beyond Thunderdome.
That sounds fake. That sounds like you
Starring
made
Tina
that
Turner.
up. Tina Turner.
Join us next episode 118 Mad Max 1, 2, 3 Thunderdome starring Tina Turner and more. Only on episode 118 of the Sunday Movie Marathon out Easter Sunday. Social media, we got that. YouTube, the Sunday Movie Marathon. Instagram at Sunday Movie Pod. Twitter at Sunday Movie Pod. Facebook at Sunday Movie Marathon. Letterboxd at Sunday MM. Capital S, capital MM. We'll see you in the Thunderdome. Any last words?
Does that not really hurt, considering you got a fucked throat?
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do.
Big up the Oscars.
Yeah, we can talk about that.